Hey everyone, it's Boogeyman Ben. Hope everyone's doing well and everyone had a nice day. Today is July 17th, Wednesday, July the 17th, so it is Comic Book Wednesday. Got my stash from my comic saver at Flying Colors Comics, so I'll be showcasing these today. I'll also be talking about something a little bit special after I do the new books that I got. It'll be focusing on a book that I've had or a series that I collected when I was younger, one that I want to showcase in the last segment of the video. The other thing I want to say before we get into it, I want to thank everyone that's given me feedback on what I should have Stan Lee sign when I meet him on August the 7th. And overwhelmingly, everybody has said Hulk number 5, so that is what I am going to have him sign. And I want to thank everybody that took the time to give me some feedback, because I was really having a hard time with going with this or the Masterworks book, which is this one right here. So yeah, I was having a hard time with these, but everybody said I should get this one, and this is the actual book with Stan Lee, and Stan Lee wrote these, so this is just great. Like I said, it's not in the best condition, but this book means a lot to me, and that's what I'm going to have him sign. So again, thank you very much, and we'll get into this Comic Book Wednesday, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Stay tuned. Okay. First new book I got today was Morbius the Living Vampire. This is issue number 7. Big fan of this book. I really have always enjoyed the Morbius character. I talked about it in one of my first Comic Book Wednesday videos when the last issue came out. This one is featuring the Superior Spider-Man, and I am caught up on these. I've always liked Morbius, going all the way back to the Midnight Suns series, which was in the 90s. Just a really big fan of this. The problem I do have, though, currently with the book is the art. I'm not a big fan of Valentin de Landro and Felix Ruiz, who are doing the art now in these. I just don't really... I'm not really just feeling this art. I mean, it's decent, but I'm just not a big fan of this style. Let's give you some panels so you can see what I'm talking about. I much prefer the art that was done in the first, I think 4 or 5 books in the series, done by Richard Elson. This is issue number 1 of the series. And if you'll see the difference, I prefer this art. I just think it's cleaner. I like the way Morbius looks. I think he's drawn better, as opposed to some of the stuff here. I don't know, I'm just a bigger fan of this artist's work. But still a great comic, a great character, and I really like the story. So yeah, I was happy to get this issue. And I'll probably be reading it tonight. Next book I picked up is X-Files number 2. I really like the cover. Old school Mulder and Scully picture. And I read issue 1 and I really liked it. It ties right into the last movie, I want to believe. And the story is really good, and I really am intrigued to see how the series plays out. But again, this is picking up like this is the 10th season of the show, and they've done it really well. Looks like they're bringing characters like Doggett back. And I know the Lone Gunmen are in this one too. I think it's great. And I think it's all because Chris Carter is involved. And it's really a creepy story. They've done it really well. And they've written it well because you really feel like it's Mulder and Scully. I mean, just the way in the writing. Writing is really well done. You have the Lone Gunmen that are coming back. I mean, it's really cool. Cancer Man. So yeah, really happy. This is a great book. I definitely recommend this one. Now today's comic book history segment is a more recent release, but I still thought it was one worth talking about, and that is the graphic novel of the movie Trick or Treat. Now, I'm sure most people that are horror fans know about this movie, Trick or Treat. It's actually one of my favorite recent horror films, and I was completely disappointed that this did not get a theatrical release. And here's Sam. This is done by NECA. It's one of my favorite toys I have. Very hard to find, but he is like one of the main characters that connects. It's like Creepshow. It's a 4-story kind of anthology with a wraparound story, and it's just a great horror movie. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out. Now, Trick or Treat was originally supposed to be released in October 5th of 2007. And then it was announced in September 2007 that the film had been pushed back. A lot of people speculate that the reason this happened is Bryan Singer, who was involved and produced the movie, they said that one of the reasons why, and I don't know if I've never confirmed this, but because of Superman Returns and the fact that that movie didn't make as much as Warner Brothers had anticipated. It cost the studio a lot of money, and because of that, Trick or Treat was shelved, and eventually it was released on DVD and Blu-ray in fall of 2009. DC Comics publisher Wildstorm Comics had planned to release a 4-issue adaptation of Trick or Treat written by Mark Andreyko and illustrated by Fiona Staples, with covers by Michael Dougherty, Breen Burns, and Ragnar. The series was originally going to be released weekly in October of 2007, ending on Halloween, but the series was pushed back due to the film's backlisting, and the 4 comics were instead released as a graphic novel adaptation in October of 2009. Now, I love the film Trick or Treat, and I was very happy to pick this up. I actually had to order it through Flying Colors Comics because it was impossible to find. I'm glad that this movie and that Trick or Treat has actually found a second life on Blu-ray and DVD. It's now like there's a 24-hour marathon of it on AMC, and it's just such a fun film. And it was unlike any horror film that has come out in recent years. It reminded me like of Creepshow and those kind of movies when I was a kid. It just is such a fun film. And if you haven't checked out Trick or Treat, I definitely recommend it. The comic is great because each book is drawn by a different artist. I'll just open it up and give you guys a look at it. The art is, I really like the art, and especially in the first story. I mean, it's right from the movie, so if people haven't seen the movie, I might be spoiling some things here, but I'll jump around so you guys can get a taste of the art. So yeah, a little different for this week, but I definitely recommend Trick or Treat. The comic is great. The movie is a masterpiece. I love it. If you get a chance to find this comic, I would try to find it on Amazon or eBay or someplace like that. And check the movie out if you haven't. But yeah, a little different for this week's Comic Book Wednesday, but I wanted to do something a little bit different to keep it fresh. So yeah, so I might be doing more comic book adaptations of horror films and things like that. But hope everyone enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a nice evening. Take it easy.